Howdy, howdy. My name is Guerric, and tonight we're sampling an infamous Traffic by Cole Worley and no publishers right now. Formerly Hollandspiel Games, soon to be Whirligig Games. Anyway, joining me tonight, we have Luke.
Hello.
We have Lily.
Howdy.
We have Pat.
Hello.
And we had Drew a minute ago.
Hi, I'm here.
You're not
What?
in TTS.
Yeah, you aren't in TTS. I think he's not been in TTS actually for a little bit. I think he was too much in his discussion. I think he was thinking about his
That's
cold. His open. He was worried about his cold open.
Yes, that's true too.
All right. Well, while
I'm
you
coming back.
get back in, I'll go ahead and start teaching this game for Pat and Luke's sake. Oh, so hi, chat. Hi, everyone. So, an infamous Traffic. We are British businessmen in the 1800s coming to China to make our fortune selling opium to the Chinese. Very honorable trade.
More importantly, though, really, this is just a means to an end.
Yes.
And the end
It's
is
a fancy hat.
fancy hats during the London season
Yes.
back in England.
We're
Got
making
it.
our fortune
We
for
want
the
our children
exclusive
to-
purpose of increasing our standing back home.
Correct.
The fortune in itself is not the important part. It's the standing. If we actually don't make a lot of money, that's fine, so long as we have a fancy hat.
or if you do make a lot of money, but then spend it all and then go deep into debt.
Yes.
As long as you have high status and
Doesn't
you have
really matter.
entered the upper class, then you win.
Thomas,
Class is
thank
all
you
that
so
matters.
much for the 2 months. I appreciate it, man. We'll make that Virsin Dust Folk stream happen one day.
Yes,
So
sign me up.
yes. Yeah. Anyway, back to Infamous Traffic. So that's the basic pitch of the game. The way the game is played is pretty similar to that. We're going to go through rounds where we take these actions listed down here, creating supply chains in China in order to increase our revenue. And then we will use that revenue to send our young scion back to London and take one of these prize chits, which will have VP on them, that will determine our score at the end of the game. And of course, the person who has the most victory points is the winner.
I thought it was hats.
Well, hats are one of the types of victory points. There's fancy
okay.
hats, there's good marriages, there's bad marriages, there's hunting accidents, there's...
Oh, geez.
There's a good house.
Yeah.
Mansion.
There's all sorts of fun stuff.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, the game is made up of 3 rounds. Since it's 5-player, we don't do the full 4. We just do 3 of them. It's better that way. Each round will have 3 phases: a refresh phase, an actions phase, foreign and domestic affairs phase. In the refresh phase, we just do basic game stuff. We'll refill these conspiracy circles with more chits. We will deal out new prizes, and then we will do the rumors phase, which is in turn order. We will take turns looking at a single prize until we've each looked at one, and then we are done with rumors. So we'll only know what one of the prizes are coming into a round. We'll just have to guess what the other 2 are. Then we go into the actions phase, which is the bulk of the game. We will take turns performing one of these 5 actions. They are invest, place, conspiracy, lower price, and pass. If you pass in this game, it is a hard pass, and the round is over when everybody has passed, at which point we will move on to the foreign and domestic affairs phase. We'll check to see if there's an Opium War, and then if there is, we'll resolve it. If not, we will just go on to the next step, which is London season. We'll look to see who has the highest valued scions in London season. We will flip over all the prizes, and we will grant the best prize to the person with the highest valued scion, and second most, and third most. Does that all loosely make sense?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. So let's start getting into the meat and potatoes a little bit. I mentioned how we're creating these supply chains.
Yep.
Supply chains are composed of several spaces, and more importantly, 3 distinct types of pieces. There are sort of 3 enterprises or industries in this game. They are fleets, merchants, and opium, or as we call them, boats, hats, and boxes.
Okay.
Excuse me. A supply chain cannot be
Speak
complete.
for yourself, Guerric.
A supply chain cannot be complete without all 3 components in the chain. After all, you can't, ship and sell opium if nobody's producing it. You can't actually sell the opium if nobody's shipping it from the production to the merchant. You get the idea. So this bottom space in a supply chain is reserved exclusively for opium pieces. These outer sea zones are reserved for fleet pieces. Inner sea zones are reserved for smugglers, which are these black pieces. We'll talk about that later. And then the land zones are reserved for merchants as well as smugglers and bureaucrats. Again, we'll talk about those later. But in short, we'll basically have an opium piece on the outside, we'll have a boat in the middle, and we'll have a merchant or 2 on the inside. And together, that will be a supply chain.
Okay.
And when we complete a supply chain, it's going to give us value. We'll go over all that more in a second. For now, we're going to loop back to the actions specifically, I think. Let's talk about invest. Invest is how you actually get enterprise pieces in order to then later place them. When you take invest, you will take your investments taken this turn cube, move it 1 space to the right, so long as it's not passing the space that corresponds with your current revenue value.
Is above it passing it, or is
so if this was your state here and you tried to invest, you could not do it because you couldn't go from the 2 to the 3 space.
Okay.
But you could go from 1 to 2 here.
Yes, you could.
Current position.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Then after moving the investments taken cube, you will check to see if there's a cost to the piece you take. If you take a merchant, it has a cost of 0, which is the little shaded square in the bottom left. If you take a fleet or an opium, it will cost 1. That 1 is paid from your revenue, and you will move it 1 space to the left.
Interesting. Okay.
If this moves your revenue past your cube, say if this was your second investment and it costs money, that's fine. That just limits, future investments this round.
Okay.
And then when you make it, you will just take it from your supply over here and put it in your holdings in front of you.
Okay, so supplies to the left, they don't really count. They're just kind of like there, and then holdings is what you actually could put down.
Exactly. Makes
sense.
The next action, there's one more thing to invest, but we'll talk about it later, I think. Someone remind me to come back to Special Envoys. The next action is place. If you have a piece in your holdings, you can check to see if you can place somewhere on the map. There's a couple conditions that you have to meet. Thanks, Lily. The region must have opportunity, which in this mod we're representing with these X or check discs to help make things easy for us. But opportunity is if there are any dice in the region that match dice in the dice pool, or if there's an open port. This port is open, so there will always be opportunity in this region. For other regions with closed ports, we will exclusively have to get dice in the region that match dice in the dice pool.
So does each dice have to match, Guerric? So if we're looking at this one here, so just because one of them matches the dice pool.
So if we were to take this 2 out of the dice pool, this still and if this was a closed port, this would still be opportunity, just because at least one of the dice match the dice pool.
Okay.
Does that all make sense to you, Pat?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have opportunity, then you are able to place the piece from your holdings into an open space, or if there's an existing piece in the space, you can place it there and undercut it. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Is there an because I know you said we're putting opium, we're putting ship, we're putting merchant. Is
Yes.
that you have to do it opium, ship, merchant, or can it be any of those?
It can be any of those. It's just important that you put pieces in the correct spaces. So
Okay, makes
this
sense.
fleet couldn't go down here. It couldn't go up here. It could exclusively go in a sea zone.
Well, my ships can go on land, but I mean, maybe yours can't. But I got a better term over here. Awkward.
Because this is an open port, we actually don't have two sea zones in here. We have one sea zone, a merged sea zone. It's this, you can sort of see it hiding behind the other two.
Okay.
So just pretend that there is just the one sea zone for this region, effectively. When you place a piece into the correct spot, you will place it on one of these numbers oriented upward so that it matches the semicircle, as you can see. And that is determining the value of that piece. The value does nothing on its own, but when you complete a supply chain, it's going to give you that much revenue.
Okay.
That all making sense?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So let's talk about completing a supply chain. So say over the course of multiple placements, you had this here, and let's say this was over here. Maybe we had something a little like this. Let's see, is that legal? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay. So when the last person places a piece into this chain so that every spot is filled, remember these two are merged. This would be no, still legal, Drew.
I see 6.
Oh no, you're right.
And
I was ignoring the smuggler. You're right. When every space is filled, remembering that these two are merged, and the total value of every piece in the chain is equal to or less than the total of the dice in the region, you have a completed supply chain.
Okay.
Does that make
and
sense?
those dice specifically represent demands.
Yes.
So basically, if you're trying to sell with prices that exceed the demand in the region, then you don't actually sell anything.
Yep.
If that helps you intuit the whole process a little bit.
They don't always want my opium?
They don't always want your opium. They only want so much.
Only
Man.
only if it's cheap.
So, assuming that you satisfy the demand, you will mark that the supply chain is completed, and everyone in the chain will gain value according to the value of the piece they have in the chain. So in this example, Luke, you would get 4 total revenue. Pat would get 1. Lily would get nothing. And you would just represent that by moving your revenue tracker to the right 1 space for every piece of value.
Makes sense.
And that could immediately unlock additional investments or, just more money. You get the idea. If ever a single piece is removed from this, and we'll talk about how that can happen later, that will break the supply chain. So we'll say perhaps a very realistic example, this police action was taken here and removes this smuggler. That would break the supply chain. Everyone would take back their pieces to their holdings, not to their supply, to their holdings. And they would lose the revenue value of the pieces that were in the chain.
Okay. Oof, that hurts.
Yes.
No, but that could also be a good thing though, because you get the pieces back, right?
You do get the pieces back. I don't know if it's ever a good thing, but you get them to your holdings.
So you should never think of your revenue as accumulating money. You should think of it as a threshold.
Yeah.
So your losing those is always bad because you have lost revenue and that restricts what you can do. It's not like you can save up cash.
No, I know, but I
and-
more mean like, what if you like were in a bad position? Like, I only had one here, whereas like Drew had 4. Like, losing that one doesn't hurt me that much. It might actually.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
And
losing it, even though I lost 1 point, might have not been the worst situation for me because
It
I
hurt
could
someone else
put
more,
better
yeah.
in. Yeah,
And if you're in a
That's more what I
situation like Lily's here, maybe it's valuable to get that back to your holdings and be able to place it out at a higher value somewhere else. Who knows?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably niche situations where it's not terrible.
Okay.
But yeah, that is the basics of a supply chain. Another thing I should mention is if there are any, I should direct this in the other direction. Black dice like this are in the region because there are black pieces in the region, like missionaries and smugglers. For each one, there will be one in the region, and when we place additional, we will add more dice to the region. If ever a black piece ends up in a completed supply chain, that's not a. Get back in your bag. Then that piece no longer counts for the dice pool, and we will immediately remove a die from the dice pool upon completing the chain. That's another important thing to mention about completing supply
So
chains.
does that mean the score would go down to 4? So like, that skate train is no more good?
The demand would go down, but the supply chain was already completed, so it's okay.
Okay.
However, if
Cool.
someone were to break the supply chain and then everyone tried to reform it, there would now be a lower demand, assuming the black piece was gone, and that's what triggered the breaking of the supply chain. But once it's completed, it doesn't care that demand has gone down, because it's what caused the demand to go down, basically. Let's see. So that's the basics of completing supply chains. Internal supply chains work slightly differently. I think we'll circle back to those at the end. Someone remind me of that too. Let's finish talking
What am I
about.
reminding you of?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to talk about underselling again real quick. So before we move on from place. So I mentioned you can either place in an open slot or you can undersell somebody. If, say, Lily was placing a fleet, regardless of whether this is a completed supply chain or not, she could place her fleet at a lower value than the fleet that's in the chain and bump it out. And whoever got bumped out would immediately lose their revenue, and Lily would immediately gain the stuff that she gained if the supply chain is complete.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yep.
There is a counter to that. It's industry leaders. Whoever has the most of a type of piece, that types being fleets, hats, and opium, whoever has the most of those pieces, of a single type of those pieces on the map and in their holdings, is the industry leader. So say Lily has, 2 boats out and 1 in her holdings, and all of us only have, 1 or 2 boats. She's industry leader because she has more boats than any one of us. She has 2 victory points at the end of the game while she's leader, and she cannot be undercut in that industry.
Got it.
I think that's all I need to say about industry leaders. And I think that finishes talking about placement. Muchuka, thank you so much for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Try not to get too distracted from the teach, but thank you. So yeah, that's place. The third action is conspiracy. Conspiracy has a cost in revenue. That cost being 1 revenue for every player who has passed this round, which means it's free at the start, but once people start passing, it becomes expensive. And to perform the action, you will just pick any 1 circle up here, and you will place all of the chits in that circle. So, say I chose this first one, I would take these 2 British influence flags to my area, because that's what you do with them, and then I would place this bureaucrat in a legal spot because that's what you do with them. Does that make sense conceptually?
Yep. Just grab the place stuff from the thing.
Yep, grab it and place it. Nice and simple. There are obviously several different types of chits up here, so I'm going to take a moment to go over them. Obviously, there's these British influence, which I mentioned. They will increase outrage when you take them, and then at the end of the round, we'll check to see if outrage exceeds Ching Forces. If it does, we will have an Opium War. And whoever has the most British influence will be the one who controls that Opium War. And if it's a tie, everyone decides together, and we expend chits to take actions during the war. So the more chits that are out, the more things that will happen. That'll make more sense when we talk about Opium Wars, but that's the basics of it. These are bureaucrats. They are, for all intents and purposes, the same as a merchant. They have a value, they can go on land zones, they can complete supply chains, they can undercut pieces if you place them. So this bureaucrat could undercut this bureaucrat, or this smuggler, etc., etc. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Next up, we have Ching Forces. They come in 2/3 varieties. There are these standard Qing forces and these police. Standard ones go into a region and just increase the Qing forces track. Ones with the police action go into a region, increase the Qing forces track, and also will remove, is it one piece or two?
Any black chits.
It's one, yeah.
One.
They'll remove any one black chit from that region. So either a missionary or a smuggler. It just gets removed from the game. And that will immediately affect the number of dice in the region and potentially break supply chains and stuff. There is a single special Qing Force police in the game, Lin Zeshu. He has 2 police actions on him, but is otherwise exactly the same.
Oh, that's cool.
Is this here?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay. There was a police one up here and a normal one down here, right?
Correct. Yeah, this
Yeah.
was one of each. So we're
Okay.
good.
Next up, we have smugglers. They are a lot like bureaucrats, except they also are the only type of piece that can go on that inner sea zone. So in closed ports, we will require smugglers to complete a supply chain. On these open ports, because the sea zones are merged, we don't need them, but they serve a very important function in closed ports, or alternatively, they can go in land zones and act as merchants. Nope, that's not right.
Missionaries?
Yeah, missionaries are the final piece. There are none currently in the conspiracy pools, but they are this piece over here. And they go onto the missionary spots, and because they're a black piece, they will add demand from the dice pool to the region.
Interesting.
Both missionaries.
There's no negatives. That's all they do.
That's all they do.
Okay.
There's obviously a limit to 1 per region. And both missionaries and smugglers can only be placed adjacent to existing missionaries and smugglers, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yes, I remember reading that when I was going through the list.
Okay. So those are all the conspiracy chits, and that is basically everything you need to know about the conspiracy action. The 4th action is lower prices, and the way that works is you just take any one of your enterprises on the map, and you lower its value as far down as you want.
Okay.
When you do so, you will immediately adjust your revenue accordingly. So if you dropped from a 2 to a 0, you lose 2 revenue.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
there is no way to raise it up while
Is
it's
there a
out there.
reason to do that?
Yes, to prevent
If someone-
underselling.
Is about to. You can stop them.
Yep. Because
It's better for you to have a little bit than nothing.
Yep. It's funny. It's funny.
Everyone will be very broke the whole game. So don't
Yes.
expect to make any money.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised this track goes so high. I feel like it could have stopped at 8 and it would have been fine.
I have never
Even
seen
then,
it higher
I've never
than
seen
eight.
it. Yeah, like that's still a rare
And that
occurrence.
was like absurdly rich.
Yeah.
It is absurdly rich.
Final action is pass. As I mentioned, that's going to take you out of the round permanently. That's going to increase the cost of the conspiracy action. The first person to pass in a round will take the start player marker for the next round. The second person will dictate if play will continue clockwise or counterclockwise. And at the time of passing, you can determine whether to send your scion to the London season. It will have a base value of whatever your revenue currently is. So if you have a revenue,
mustaches out.
if you have a revenue of 2, it starts at a strength of 2. And then, regardless of what it starts at, you can spend additional revenue to boost it. So if it starts at 2, you can spend 2, putting your revenue at 0. That will bump it up to a value of 4. Or say you started at, -1, you could spend down to -4 to go up to, what would that be, 2?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Pat, you following that?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, that's the action phase. It ends when everybody passes. At which point we go to the foreign domestic phase. We check to see if outrage exceeds Ching forces. At which point we will have an Opium War if it does, or we will not if it doesn't. I don't want to go too in depth in an Opium War, but the steps are all here. We'll basically determine if anybody controls it, and they will spend British influence chits that people have in order to remove yellow pieces from regions. Ching forces first. And then if there are none, they can open the port.
Okay.
And that's the only way for ports to become open. Yeah.
Or it's become opium?
That's what I started to say. After the Opium War, we have London Season, which works as I described before. We'll flip over all the prizes. Whoever has the highest value scion gets the best prize, and next so. And we do it all again.
Let's do it. Did you want to tell us about
Yes.
special envoys?
Yes. So there are a few things I need to circle back to. First is special envoys. There's an additional limitation to placing pieces I didn't mention, but special envoys gets around it. You cannot place in a closed port unless you have a special envoy. Am I saying that correctly? Do people remember? No.
So in order to place any piece, you need opportunity, which means the dice have to match.
Right.
In order to place a merchant in a space, the port must be open. So you can place opium and ships as long as there's opportunity. To place a merchant, you need both opportunity and an open port.
That's what it is. But special envoys let you get around that. You can spend a special envoy to ignore opportunity and or closed ports for a piece placement. And the way you get special envoys is when you take the invest action. You can choose to invest in hats, but instead of placing it into your holdings, you just make it a special envoy. And from then on, you can spend it on any placement to grant its benefit, and it'll go back to your supply at that point. Does that make sense?
And it does not count towards your hats, like as an industry leader.
It does not.
Cool.
Okay. Another thing to mention.
Inland zones.
Yep. Our inland zones. Obviously, they only have land zones, which means they only accept bureaucrats, smugglers, and merchants. When you complete a land zone, you additionally must trace a route along the dotted line to a completed outer sea zone. So you have to find one of these chains that's completed and trace your route to it. And when you do so, in addition to granting the revenue for the completed internal supply chain, you will get 1 bonus revenue for every piece that a player has in that outer supply chain. That player will get one revenue for each piece they have. So in this example, boop, pretend there's demand in here. Yeah, there you go. And we're looking at something like this. You would get 1 for this merchant up here. You would additionally trace down to this supply chain. You would get 1 for having 1 piece. Pat would get 1, and Lily would get 2 for having 2 pieces.
Interesting.
And that is basically the only free money in the game. Is doing a land zone to a land supply chain to a sea supply chain.
Yeah, and any other piece of revenue can be taken away from you by being undercut.
Okay.
Or like supply chains broken, etc.
Yeah. I know there was one other thing, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, revolution. There is an alternative game end trigger besides just playing out the rounds. If ever there are no dice remaining in the dice pool, the game will immediately end and we'll have alternate scoring. We ignore the value of our prize chits, and the winner is whoever has the most enterprises on the map.
Okay.
That may or may not end up being relevant, but in the case that it is very relevant. So I wanted to mention it.
So there you go, Mutuka. That is one way that you can root for China.
And yeah, that's it. Unless I'm forgetting something.
Well, let's do this.
Yeah. Let's give people their pieces back. Just as a point of knowledge, I will say that we will not be going through every prize chit in this game. If you play 3 or 4 player, you will use every prize chit that comes in the box. That's not the case here. We'll have 3 that we don't use. 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
12 total.
Yeah. So there's some amount of ambiguity about which ones will be in and which won't. The price chits range from -1 to 3 in value. Yes, some of them are -1.
2 -1s.
The distribution of them is on this player aid down here at the very bottom. There's 2 3-pointers, 2 2-pointers, 3 1-pointers, 3 0-pointers, and 2 -1-pointers. And that distribution, you should know where to find it because it can be very important for knowing when to gamble on a prize and when not to.
Okay.
So yeah, turn order started with Luke. The very first thing we do is rumors on the first turn. We skip deal conspiracy, deal prizes. We did that during setup, but we start with rumors. So starting with you can peek at any one prize.
Okay. Let's do this. Okay.
And then you
That was the
tell
middle?
everyone else at the board what you saw.
I don't listen. I do not listen to you, and Drew's gonna lead me astray.
Pat, just so you know, don't listen to Drew.
Yep.
Okay.
Lily, did you peek at one?
No, I didn't. Got it.
Garrett, did we roll these dice, by the way?
Cool.
We did roll the dice, yeah.
Sorry, what Lily looked at which one? I thought which one. Which one?
I looked at the bottom one, and Luke looked at the middle.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna be different.
Perfect.
I'll look at the middle.
Look at the bottom.
Ooh, Pat's got knowledge on the rest of us.
Yep.
Hey.
All right. It's the action phase.
Totally wasn't a -1. Okay, I don't know.
Starting with Luke. Have a good night, Kurtwin Callens.
I'll do an investment. I'll buy a fleet.
So that costs a revenue.
Yeah, that will cost a revenue, which will limit your investments for this turn, which may or may not be something you care about.
Wait, why do I have a fleet? Cured of that.
Actually,
example.
Yeah,
I just pulled it out for example purposes and forgot to put it back.
Actually,
Put it back, right?
Let me think about this. Actually,
I should also maybe mention that this game is very brittle and will, in all likelihood, be decided by one person's action, and not necessarily for them.
I'm gonna start with.
I think it's also a very bad learning experience.
There's
5 people, so our apologies to both of you.
I don't think there's any good learning count for this game because if you played it,
I mean, I played it a lot before I understood it, and
I do a merchant actually.
Understand it.
It's just
3 and 4 are the ideal counts because they're not like 3 is not where the game is really at its best, but it's the easiest to wrap your head around what you're supposed to be doing and why. And 5 is just chaos, so it's okay.
I actually did a merchant. I just think.
Okay. And that's pretty standard, Luke, to either invest in a merchant or in a special envoy with your first investment.
Yeah, because they're free, so you can get 2, even if it's.
Yeah, I realized that.
At least you get an extra thing that you can use later on, turn 2 or something, maybe.
That said, I think our last streamed game, I just shot straight for a fleet or something, and it ended up panning out nicely for me, having that action advantage, even if I lost out on an investment. So, yeah, there's options.
Yeah, I'll grab a. Yeah. I'll grab a ship.
I'm already forgetting what special envoys are. My mind is blanked on it when you brought that up.
It's okay.
They allow you to ignore all the placements.
Yes, I read that. How do you get them? Is more what I
just invest in a hat.
Just invest in them,
and instead you put it there instead of to your holdings.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, I'm missing something. I know, remember what they do. I can see that, but okay. I'm gonna just buy a hat.
I'm gonna take this conspiracy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I'm so sad. I wanted that.
I was impressed that you didn't take it, Lily.
I was trying to show self-restraint. I was trying. I shouldn't have done it. I wanted that.
Where do I want this merchant to go? Very interesting. We're gonna put it here.
Interesting. Two hats, one boat. Mutuka, it's worth it either for the completion of a land zone so that you can then accrue value when you chain it to a sea zone or chain, or you can just do it for blocking purposes.
And also, if a revolution endgame is at all on the horizon,
also
having
true.
Chits on the board is the only victory condition. So,
also very true.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't think about that.
freaking hate going into Opium. Nobody's done it yet.
Nope.
I mean, you could just buy a ship. Or hedge your bets and get get a merchant like everyone else.
Grab Opium.
I'm gonna grab a special envoy.
Okay.
I probably like special envoys a little bit too much, but I feel like every time
true.
I've not gotten one in the early game, I've regretted it in the late game. So, I don't know.
They matter a lot less in the 5-player game.
But when they matter, and that's the thing. You don't want to miss that tempo.
Yeah, I think that's been true for me half the time, and then the other half of the time I wind up wishing that my special envoy was available to be turned into a merchant.
This is true.
In the 5-player games.
This is fair.
So let me double check something. So even it says investments taken this turn. So if I move it up, am I supposed to move it up 1 or I keep it where it's at?
No, if you take another investment, you're going to bump that cube up to 2, and then you will be done taking investments this turn unless you can get your revenue up to the bracket where you can take 3 investments.
Probably isn't a good thing to do. Let's place. Let's see what we. Let's see what happens.
Oh. I want a flag.
No, you're just funding Drew's army.
I don't mind.
Or I know you don't mind.
I'll make it my army, damn it.
I don't know how you're gonna do that.
Magically!
Huh. Yeah, okay. I'm going to... I didn't realize you could grab any one of these. Okay.
Shoggle blue.
Okay, I'm going to take that one.
Ooh, okay.
More
Where are we
army
going?
funding for Drew. Drew, did you just the outrage
It's
already?
definitely happening. I did, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have to drop this here to get rid of dice if I don't want to, right?
That's correct.
You can put it wherever you want.
And the police action lets it remove 2?
1.
One.
Right, no one doesn't. It just versus upgrade. Right, that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
the special one that does 2.
Exactly.
Got it. Just gonna drop it there for now because I don't want to take off 2. I don't know if that has value. I don't understand enough, I don't think.
Actually, I didn't explicitly mention this. There are rules as to which die gets removed in the case of removing a black piece, and it is the lowest first. Is that right?
Yes.
That is right.
Anytime a die gets removed, whether because a black piece goes out of the game or because a chain gets
Okay,
finished. It's
so
always the lowest.
if I do that, right? If I did do this,
Yeah.
that would just get rid of the 2,
Yep.
and it would basically make all three of these only have a 4 max, right?
Correct. Unless somebody could put another die back into there, in which case it goes back up. I also didn't explicitly mention this, but when you add a die to a region, you take any of the ones from the pool and you re-roll it upon placing it in the region.
And they need to match for it to be a good one, right? So like, if we don't have a 4 or 2 in here, like if we take the 4 and 2 out and we don't roll a 1, 3, 5, or 6, then this is just useless, right?
That place would not have opportunity if the port wasn't open. However, because the port is open, it will always have opportunity.
Yep.
Right.
But your thought process is correct.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take that 2 out.
Okay.
Fuck it. And then I'm going to place this.
Which are you removing, the smuggler or the missionary?
Oh, it does that too, right? We can get rid of the missionary. Yeah.
That poor missionary.
Lily says, ooh, and I'm here going, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just saying things.
Well, it's interesting because it can't be replaced because there's no missionaries currently in the conspiracy area.
Yeah. That's why I chose to do it. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's why I chose to do it.
That's the only reason I went ooh.
Okay, so that's my action.
I will invest in opium, I guess.
This is shaking out to be all sorts of weird.
You get a ship. Together we could complete a chain, Guerric.
Yeah.
And then we could rule the galaxy as father and son.
When do you check for industry leader? Is it just immediately?
Oh yeah, it's just all the time.
Yeah.
So technically, Drew is industry
Lily-
leader of opium right now. Lily is industry leader of fleets, and there's no industry leader for merchants because there's a tie between Luke and Pat. This feels like such a mistake, but I'm going to invest in a fleet. I don't know why, but this is just setting off alarm bells in my head, even though this is very normal play.
I'm going to invest in a special envoy.
Throw this one. Ooh, hold 2. Oopsie.
You're done, Lily?
Yeah, and Pat, yes!
Oh, I already saw it.
Yes!
That's why when you grabbed it, like, oh, I know what she's doing. I kind of wanted what you were going to grab. I was going to grab that, but that worked out. Well played.
That's why, yeah, that's why I felt that it was safe for you to get a ship, Guerric.
He has turn order advantage over me anyway, so I don't really care.
Well, no, you
You
and
had
I
it.
could have been the ship chain, but I suspected that would happen, so now it will be me and Guerric.
Well, I had to take responsibility and not give Drew all of the power in a war.
And
Pat can still invest in opium.
I think we should go here.
I can.
Guerric?
So me and Pat can be partners.
Yep.
Oh shit.
I have a question. Can you put like a black piece over a yellow piece at all, or no?
You can undercut.
You have to undercut it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, got it. So because this is 0, it's basically stuck there.
Correct. Unless we remove it via Opium War, which removes yellow pieces.
Oh jeez.
What are you OGsing about? Just go in the first place you were looking at.
No, that's obviously what we should do. It's just, I missed how much it was, but whatever.
Okay. That completes the supply chain. You get 2, I get 1. Sucks to suck.
I see. Anything I want to do?
I will take this moment to note that fleets exclusively do not have a 0 space, which is very important.
Yeah, very nice.
That's very
to
interesting.
Always be able to break even on fleets and merchants,
Yeah.
no matter what you do.
Well, merchants have a 0.
8.
Yeah, but they also cost 0. So like
Yeah.
both fleets and merchants have a worst case of you broke even
Yes.
on the action or on the cost, whereas opium can potentially lose you money.
This is true.
Technically.
Hey, friends.
Mm-hmm.
Should outrage be at 8?
Should
No,
be at
it should be at 6.
But we removed
it should be at
we
8
removed a missionary.
because, Yeah, there was a police action. Thank you
Okay.
for catching that.
Yeah. Just wanted to.
I was tracking the British outrage chit, but not the.
You can't do that because you gotta remember the black pieces too. So.
Yep.
That's where the number 2 is involved with the police. It's remove 1 piece, but it's 2 outrage. That's what I was.
When a police action happens, yeah. The British are outraged at Chinese interference in the Chinese opium trade. How dare they?
How dare they?
I'm going to take this.
Has to connect, so you have to put it here, here, here.
Yeah, your
that's
options
true.
are any space other than these 2.
I always want to do that every time we play. I'm just like, I want to jump into the corner. And
Yeah.
everyone's always like, no, you can't do that. And I'm stupid.
And actually, I won't take that. I am going to just pass.
Okay.
Oh, you're passing? Oh, fuck. Okay.
Would you like to send your scion to the London season? It has a base value of 0.
Is that because it's your revenue, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Man, maybe I don't.
Yeah. So then the real question becomes, do you want to go into debt to finance your young nephew's escapades in London?
I forget why would you go into that? I'm already blanking on that rule as well.
You can optionally choose to spend revenue to bump up your scion's value. And you would do this, of course, to try and get a prize chip, because at the end of the game, revenue doesn't matter, just prizes.
Yeah, so at the end of this round, all 3 of these chits will be revealed.
Yes.
And then people will take them in order of highest to lowest scions, with ties broken by whoever went there first.
When do you decide to do that? Whenever you put them in, right now?
Yeah.
As soon as you pass, you have to send the scion and decide to spend on them.
Oh, so if he puts it at a 3, he has to spend 3 revenue, and that's like permanent 3 revenue?
Yep.
Permanent.
Got it. Okay, cool.
That revenue is gone forever.
See, it's funny. Like you said all these words, Guerric, and I understood the words, but I didn't understand it till this very moment.
No, I get happening. I get it. The game is funny. It doesn't quite come together until it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of it is very opaque,
despite being
especially fairly simple. Of losing revenue. Yeah, no, it's a very simple game, but it's like it's so weird. Everything about it is weird. There's no like.
I'm just passing.
Hankers.
You're not going to London season. We now have knowledge.
Okay.
I call them fuel units.
Luke, which one did you look at?
The middle one.
Middle one.
Cool.
Same when you looked at Drew.
That's right. And oh gosh. That's
Guerric
right.
and I looked at the same one.
Top. Guerric and Lily looked at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's correct.
I remember now.
I just played into the seat binding, basically.
Yeah. It's just helpful to remember who looked at what.
Yeah.
When they do things during the game.
Yep. It's called knowledge. My Hollywood Hills apartment. Here in my garage.
Okay.
Justified true beliefs. Also known as knowledge. That was a very nerdy joke, sorry. Who's up?
Lily's
it's
up.
Me. We'll put that there.
That seems ambitious.
Not really. Both Pat and Drew can buy things.
Yeah, but it doesn't leave any demand.
Yeah, you want me to buy it and put it for 0?
Oh, yeah, shit! I didn't notice the bureaucrat. I legitimately just wrote the bureaucrat out in my mind. Well, the thing is, Pat, if you put it for 1, Drew can just undercut you for 0, but I don't know if he would do that.
I mean, if someone wants to undercut me and give me back to me for 0, I don't see why that would be. You know what I mean? If he's gonna buy a 1 to make a 0, why? It doesn't. I don't understand why he would do that. But I feel like I'm buying this for nothing, and I'm giving. But you've already bought something for nothing. He's the only one benefiting.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Drew, not Drew. Oh my God, Luke is benefiting, right? Because if I buy this for 1 and you put it there for 1, we both balance out. And he gets...
Well, see, the thing is, if I get it for 1, I get another investment, though.
Yeah.
Because my revenue tracking gets bumped up by 1, and that's all I'm looking for is to get that bump.
Right. So it literally does nothing for me. It does something for other people. Okay, fuck that.
I mean, you'd still get the 1 revenue, but
I would go down 1, go back to 0.
Yes. That's this whole game, Pat.
It's not worth giving someone else a benefit if you don't also get some kind of.
That's what I mean. If I also got something, sure, but other people are getting way more than me, right?
That's fair. And there's a good chance that Drew just keeps going into Opium because he's already in Opium.
This game.
This game, I think, my thesis about this game is that it is 100% about relative advantage.
One other question. Does this hat and this hat kind of there's 2 hats?
Nope.
No. Special envoys are not merchants.
Got it.
So yeah, you both are currently tied for merchant leader. Or I'm sorry, you're tied on merchants, which means there is no merchant leader. And Luke has passed. So if you want to snag merchant leader, now is an opportunity to do it.
Does that do anything for me though?
It won't do anything for you this round, probably. Well, maybe.
It protects you from being undercut, and it gets you VP.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I mean, your investments are going to reset, so you might as well use it if you're not going to buy something that's going to put you negative.
Yeah, once we get into the next turn, everyone's investment marker is going to go back down to 0, so you're going to refill your actions, and your revenue will stay wherever it landed.
Goes to that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Sorry, Lily.
That's fine. You're just giving Drew more money.
Why is he giving me more money? I'm not.
I don't know.
There's no way I'm filling this thing.
Okay.
Why would I fill this thing? It's the same. I have the same problem as Luke. I gain no benefit, and I give you
As
benefit.
me. I'm not.
I'm sorry, Pat.
We're all each other today. Everyone's Luke.
Just corrected
My mom
that,
calls
too.
me her brother's name all the time, so it's fine. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
No, seriously, growing up, it was literally like Kevin, Chemo, Pat, which is brother, dog, me.
Yeah, I regularly call any one of my 3 kids by our old cat's name, who's not even alive anymore.
You threaten your children that way, Drew. Wow.
Who even can invest in a fleet? Nobody. Interesting. Yeah, so this is all the money that's going to be made this round. Very interesting. And weird.
Yeah.
that police action in here really blew things up.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
That's kind of what I was hoping for.
You succeeded. It's awesome. It's awesome. Everyone is so much poorer than they normally are.
Didn't we have a play like this somewhat recently where like we just rolled horrible numbers in this region? It was like a 2 and a 1 or something, and like nobody had money.
Well, basically what happened there is 2 people had like a healthy amount of money, and literally everyone else at the table was like -4. Oh gosh.
Well, Chocolate Blue, you got to sample the goods to make sure they're good, right?
Yep. Oh man, is there? Yeah, so there's no fleets, so this chain cannot be filled, and neither can this one. Someone could potentially create more opportunity, but it costs our revenue to do so.
Yeah, we have a pass.
Wow.
That was more the reason why I passed.
It was a good. No, it was a good pass.
Yeah.
It hurt.
I'm not complaining at all. This is really interesting. I'm just trying to like wrap my head around if there are literally even any viable ways to make anybody any money. I don't think there are. I don't see any ways for anyone to make money unless somebody. Oh, even that wouldn't work. No, I guess I could put this here, and then that would get enough demands for it to be worth maybe me investing in an opium there. Ugh. But someone's gonna stop me because I'm the only one making money off of that, so it will get blocked.
Honestly, I'm not sure how you do get blocked. Someone spend $1 to police?
Oh, that's a good point. And even then, it would take away the lower die, which might. Well, I don't know, because then my break-even cost for opium, the opium placement is 2 rather than 1. So I almost need to like guarantee 3, being able to place a 3. Which means the police becomes a very attractive option for people. I'm just going to invest in a merchant. Or a special envoy. Yeah, let's do special envoy.
Honestly, Chocolate Blue, I think this game is gorgeous as is. I would maybe put something to distinguish the types of pieces that can go in spaces on the map or on the pieces, but like other than that, I think this game looks great. I think I'm just gonna pass. So turn's gonna go counterclockwise. Do I go to the movies? Luke didn't. Luke has seen the middle shit. Lily has not passed yet. Pat has not passed yet. They both have less revenue. Well, Pat has the same revenue as me, but lose turn order. Lily has less. I'm going to gamble and go to London season.
All right, Lucas passed. Still on
passed,
to
yep.
Lily.
I pass.
Going into debt for Scion.
No.
All right.
I want to, but I don't want to.
Yeah, that's always the thing. Like, yes, but also no.
I'm in a really bad position here, so I'm just doing what I can to scrape by at this point.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, I want to understand something real quick.
Sure.
So we're going to war, right?
Yes.
This is happening?
100%.
And that's how you get rid of these things?
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
Except we all have to agree on it.
Yeah. So
All
be,
three
Yeah,
of us.
because we're all tied, we must come to a consensus between the three of us
Got it.
on what we do with the chits.
if that was not the case, if one person had the majority, then they would take all of the chits that everyone has and make all the decisions for the war. But because it's a tie,
collect all of the British chits. Yeah.
Because it's a tie, you all have to come to a consensus on all actions you choose to take. And if you can't, you just give up all your chits and the war's over.
There's too much squabbling at the table. War over.
Yes.
The war's definitely going to be over.
There's no fighting in the war room.
Question. Can I place something in the zone that is X'd out even though I can't score?
You can, assuming
No. Well,
assuming you
yes,
can
but
get
also
in
no.
there, you can place there. You're not going to be able to complete a supply chain.
well, so you also are specifically asking about merchants, and merchants require open ports to place.
Right.
anywhere,
So you
period.
would you would
And so you
require
would have needed
a special envoy. Yeah.
Oh, how do we open the ports for any of these things?
The Opium War.
with the war.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I think it's probably worth explaining what the war does in Teach's Guerric. I usually do, and
I mean, I did
feels
like
it might be too much information, but I think it's important enough to talk about.
I honestly did like 80% of it. Like
You did, but it's just the so the two things you can do with British influence chits when an Opium War happens is you can spend one of them to remove 2 yellow pieces from a region, and that can break supply chains that have been completed. And then the second thing you can do is once there are no yellow pieces in a region, you can take a British chit and place it on a port to open it.
But we all have to
Those
agree
two
on
things.
it.
yes.
We all have to agree, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I actually said all of that except for the one chit gets 2 pieces. That's the only part I didn't mention, but I mentioned.
Oh, really? Did you mention open
Yeah.
ports? I must have missed it then. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
That's why I'm saying that I really did teach almost all of the war. I just.
You can tell what
It doesn't
Drew's
make
doing.
sense.
You taught enough. You taught enough. I
Yeah.
just didn't catch that one bit, so I thought Pat never heard it. But
I mean, that could also be true.
we just forgot.
These things can both be true.
Yes. Yep. Nice. I will pass. And I have 2 revenues, or 1 revenue, so I'll send a Scion. I don't want to do that. So 1's fine. I'm done. So back to you, Pat.
So I pass, and I'm going to. So first place gets the highest one.
First place gets
First
the highest
place gets
one.
the highest one.
Second gets
I'm
second
putting it
highest. Third gets third.
Yeah, I'm putting it 2.
Ah.
You. Oh no, yeah. If you want to go first, you would have to put it at 2. If you tie me at 1, then you'll go second because I
Yep,
placed first.
that's why I want to go first.
Okay.
Then we readjust these.
Oh boy. All right. That's our action phase.
Now we're on to the Opium War.
Yep. Because there's no majority, you guys will have to make decisions together. You can choose to remove yellow pieces and or open ports. Have at it.
are we going to agree on anything? That is the question.
Well, we're not going to agree on opening any inland ports because that mostly only benefits Pat. So I will block that, and probably Lily would too. So then the question becomes: are the three of us collectively interested in?
Actually, opening ports benefits Lily as well because it merges sea zones.
Good point. Yep. You and Lily as people with fleets, although yours is already completed. So
yeah,
no, wait. Both of you have your fleets placed, so it really benefits anybody who buys a fleet next round.
Yes, this is true. But it's just a point of.
No, but you're right. That's a good clarification. This is hilarious. I feel like I just am perfectly happy with the status quo.
Come on, Drew. How are we gonna have a revolution if you don't remove dice from the dice pool?
No, I'm a noble.
So we can
I'm a noble pacifist. I I refuse all actions.
All right.
Okay. Then
No
move
war
on.
then. Everyone discard your chits. London season. Let's flip those prizes and find out how upset I am.
Is it gonna be 3 and 3?
Oh,
Close enough.
my
Yes.
gosh! The cheapest 3 in existence. Holy moly.
As soon as Pat spent into debt for £2, I was like, well, I'm losing my 3, but he must have seen something good. So at least I'm getting something.
Yeah,
Right,
I'd seen the 0, so I knew it was not terrible, but
yep. And then obviously
I did not know a 3 was there. I'll be honest. I only thought that the
you were playing whatever you saw in the top. So I was like, as soon as you
I
did
just
it,
got
like,
lucky, is what just happened.
No, you played well. Like you buying that 2 was absolutely the smart move.
Yep.
And you just you did get a little lucky that there was also a 3 in there that I had seen. And
but you made absolutely the right move.
Away.
Yeah.
So you absolutely made the right move. Yeah. Enjoy your noble heiress that you have just married into. I have purchased a beautiful city residence for my young children, who will then be able to set up camp there next time they get sent to London's social scene.
And I had a very thrilling fox hunting trip.
Oh no!
It resulted in his nephew being maimed for life, but fun was had along the way.
I've been told that scars are becoming.
Good for your character. Well, you're gonna need it.
All right. Moving on to the next round, we deal out a conspiracy to each circle. Ooh, Linza Shu.
That was a hard one where it was like I knew Drew could buy more than I did. And
you're in an awkward position, Luke, having also seen the 3.
Yeah, I was like, I did not feel like I could go into debt. I could not beat you in that. And so I was like, I'd rather you spend on something than if...
Yeah, if you had burned for debt, I probably would have just exceeded you.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this means that we don't have a war because there's no...
Well, first of all, the outrage track resets to 0.
Yes, I forgot to do that.
Yeah. And then, yes, there is no war.
Am I first player?
I see what you're saying. There will be no war this round, correct?
Yeah, Luke, you will peak first, and I'm going to fix turn order real quick.
I'm going to go to this bottom.
Luke is first, I'm second. There we go.
Okay, I did the bottom one.
All right, you do the bottom, I'll go middle. Okay. Drew?
I'll look at the top.
Pat?
I'm also going to look. You guys, pretty bottom.
Lily?
Okay.
Ooh.
There's 3 of us that looked at bottom.
Wait, so yeah, all 3 of you looked at the bottom.
Yeah, that's something.
Luke, you looked at the middle, right?
I looked at the middle. Luke at the bottom.
Guerric looked at the middle.
Yep.
I looked at the top. Okay. Oh, interesting.
So Drew
So
and Guerric
all
have
three of the people who
information.
looked at the bottom are in the row. This is fascinating.
All right, well, Luke, you're up first.
I am. Oh, I need to reset my.
Oh yeah, everyone reset your investments taken and flip your past marker back over. Those things we forget to do every time we play.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a smuggler. And this is connected, right? Like this is next to this.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So then
And
this will go.
Yeah, either the inner sea zone or the land zone.
Yep, that will go right there.
Then take any die you want and roll it into that space. So you can, for example, if you want to, take the 4, which then denies well, it won't because the port is open, but like as an example, it would then deny opportunity if this port wasn't open. You do the same thing with 2s, although there are 2 2s, so which dice you take is important, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Here's opportunity.
Yep.
And then it's my turn. Decisions.
That is a lot of police actions.
There's a lot of police actions.
Fancy Sling, you've missed nothing but misery and poverty.
Well, London season was pretty exciting.
Other than a very exciting London season.
We got a 3-year.
We may be broke economically, but we have all, well, some of us are on our way to entering the upper class, the upper social class.
Scars are going to be the next big thing. I'm telling you.
You keep telling people that around the London social scene, Guerric, and maybe one day all of the social strivers will go deliberately get into fox hunting accidents. You have to become famous first. You're not there yet.
I'm infamous. Does that count?
Maybe on your Twitch channel.
Going second is tough.
I mean, you could have put the player order in the opposite direction.
No, it's still good. I just...
You could have gone last. If you wanted. I still haven't figured out when it's better to go early or late, because it's just hard to read that for me still. It seems like it can go either way. It just depends on a lot of very complicated factors.
I think there's a lot of
going first.
I think there's a lot of value in going last for like the first round of actions, but I think it pretty immediately becomes better to have been first or second at that point. Because the tempo of when you get to pass, when you get to go to the London season, if you get that turn order tiebreaker, all that, it's super important.
Yeah, but often going later can make you more than enough extra revenue to make up for the fact that you have to pay more to beat whoever wins to London first. Or at least, well, I don't know about often, but like,
yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how often that is. And there are upper limits, because if you hit a max Envoy or Scion,
yes, that's
then...
true. It does cap out at 7.
Yeah. I'm going to try something a little funky. I'm going to take these two, send them up here. We'll see if it pans out into anything.
Ooh.
That
is an interesting move.
But see, I just don't understand what the point of that is if the port has to be open for you to put merchants there anyway. Why would that matter?
Because
these two can be placed. It's just merchants that can't be placed with open ports.
But why does that matter, though?
Because it will generate inland revenue.
If I roll a 2 or greater.
If you roll a 2 or higher, yeah.
But
so he's going to place this guy, and then the die gets rolled. And then that immediately
But why does that generate money for you guys whenever it shouldn't if they're not your tokens?
Well, see, what happens is now these check. They're a completed supply chain.
Yep. Because
and in order to do that,
3 and they only have 2.
Yeah, and in order to do that, you then have to trace to an inland zone. I choose this completed supply chain. Drew gets 1, I get completed. 1.
Yep. Whoever completes the chain, no matter what piece is the piece that completes it, is the one who decides which inland zone or which
inland chain or coastal chain,
or which coastal chain is the
so these don't score at all then for themselves. Like if I had merchants there, I would get nothing for it.
No, if you had a merchant there, you also would score off of it. It's just Guerric placed both of those pieces on his own turn.
Yeah,
that was a great
got
move.
it.
And also because now this piece is in a completed supply chain, this die gets removed back to the pool.
Yep, goes straight back to the pool. Yep. Wow.
I don't love how it benefited you, but it still felt like a good move.
No, I think... I mean, yes. Yeah. I think it... Wow. I would have done the same thing in your position, because you really... Everyone is so poor. You really needed that.
So is that like permanent revenue, or if that goes away?
That is permanent revenue.
Yeah,
that's the only revenue that cannot be lost.
That bonus for tracing an inland chain to a coastal chain, that bonus is the only free money in the game.
Okay.
And that's why it's so valuable.
Man. I'm going to invest in a merchant.
Man, this game's so good.
Yeah, I love this thing. It's such a good game. But it takes a lot of plays to even start to see.
Yeah, it's so hard.
What the hell is even going on?
It is a hard game to play. Just to get over that learning curve. All about that opium, Badger.
Badger, I have seen the light. I really have always kind of hated opium, and so I've made myself go for it this time.
My theory is that opium only works when it's when a player's allowed to be like the exclusive opium producer. Otherwise, I think it becomes strictly worse than the other two industries. So it's a fun balance. What you thinking, Pat?
The downside also is that
I think that it doesn't matter what I do because I can't do anything that does anything of use. Because either I'm not understanding something, or because there's no point in playing merchant if everything's fucking taken, and I can't put anything up here. I can't put anything over here because we weren't allowed to put chits down. Like, I'm feeling that because of that, like, there's no point in me playing. I should just pass and let you guys play. And in all seriousness, because I don't feel like there's.
I mean, you're winning right now, Pat.
I mean, yeah, okay.
You have the most points. You're winning. There's only 2 3-pointers in the game.
Eric, this is why teaching people at 5 is terrible.
Drew, this is the game. This is not 5-player.
I know, but 3 and 4-player is so much nicer than 5-player. Like, the game is a little bit nicer to you in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but you're also not even really playing the game.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not.
I agree at 3, but I think 3 is probably the best way to teach it because the game doesn't like hit you over the head with a sledgehammer as much.
Pat,
it's not even that I don't understand it. I understand. I'm understanding that I'm fucked when it comes to making income.
Yes, no, that's what I mean. Like, you totally get the game. It's just that the game is very mean to its players.
Pat, you could easily invest in a special envoy. Plop this smuggler in here. Suddenly you have yourself an internal supply chain.
About special envoys, I'll be honest, but
yeah, special envoys are the solution to closed ports. Like that's how you get merchants out in closed ports. Or you could
also another reason why 3 and 4 is probably a better teaching count.
Why? Because they don't have open ports.
This starting open port totally warps the game in a good way, I think, but it is also that much more to wrap your head around in terms of like there's just so many layers in this game.
Again, I don't think lowering the player count is going to magically make the layers more transparent.
Yeah, it just removes 2 of the 20 layers, which is significant.
I don't know.
I disagree.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Meh.
And a big thing is right now, I mean, people need to be working together. We can't complete supply chains on our own unless we're all
I will.
Unless we all have more money than we do. All right, so Lily went into opium. Luke went into hats. Some more.
No, Luke. Oh yeah, that's true. Luke picked up another merchant. So now I think.
Yeah, there's no leader. It's 2-2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and invest in a fleet. Gives me the leader.
Okay, I'm going to invest in opium, which gives me the leader.
Breaking this does nothing, right?
All it does is make it more difficult to open a port because you have to get through more yellow pieces during a war to get there. So it's not.
Well, and this is also not a police chit, so it won't break it at all. There are police chits out there, but
no, I didn't care. That's fine. That's when I put it down. Yep, I didn't realize.
Okay. It is a lot of Ching Forces, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And we wasted all our British influence last round.
Yeah, like literally all the British influence came out last time.
We had 6 influence in the first set of
Great
pools.
job, Lily. I support this. Fully.
All right, hold on. That's a completed supply chain. Go ahead and get your 2 value, and Luke get your 1. And then that's that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, we had to put the completed marker down.
If I place my merchant up there, what does that do?
Up here?
Yeah.
Nothing at the moment, just because there's no demand.
Yep.
But
it
if
is
you
something where I could place, and then I could police, and then I could put a smuggler down and get demand or something, or a missionary at some point and get demand, and it would activate, right?
The only way to create demand is this one smuggler.
This round. Luke is right that in the future, if a missionary comes out, you could have the pieces there, place the missionary in the region, and at that point complete the supply chain if the missionary adds enough demand to the region and the pieces are pre-existing. Is that worth? I have no clue. But it is.
I am just, for right now, just going to buy another merchant. Makes me leader.
Yep.
So what's the next supply chain that's going to be completed? What do people think?
There basically are none.
Why do you say that?
Well, this one needs 3 pieces and only has 2 demand remaining. This one has 2 pieces and 0 demand remaining. And
actually, we could do that. Oh no, we can't. It's so low.
No, basically, someone is always going to have to place a 0 cost piece to complete any of the 3 chains where there is demand. So somebody has to bite the bullet and place this smuggler. But whoever bites the bullet and places the smuggler is not going to get any benefit out of it, probably. Because then everyone else goes after them.
Except for me. Nobody else has boats right now.
Oh, that's a good point. You're right.
So it sounds like I should place the smuggler.
Yes, that is true. If you place the smuggler...
Now the question, Guerric, think about that, though. You're placing the smuggler for the 2 people who have victory points at this moment. You got to get more out of them from that.
Well, really, it's me and Guerric working together because the smuggler is going to go into probably that zone or maybe that zone for what's the math on that? They're identical actually. Between this zone and this zone, because this is a 4 but has 2 in it already, and this is a 3 and has 1 in it already. But this benefits an extra person. So if Guerric does it, he probably places it there, and then
could also undercut
he
this
and I
one.
finish it together. Oh, that's true. You can undercut that one. Well, but then doesn't this die stay exactly the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you're not completing a chain. But if you want to deny chain completion, which maybe you do, that's the play. Is just bury the smuggler. But if you want to work together with me, I will help you complete this chain.
Where do I get my value? Sure are a lot of police actions just sitting out there.
Oh, that's true. That is the real problem. We'll complete a chain and then someone will police it.
How does anyone make value in this situation? Because the moment anyone blinks, everyone else just jumps on top of them with police actions or with taking up supply slots. Or this is funny.
I mean, Guerric, what if you and I just burn police actions?
But it's starting to feel like the play is just to burn police actions.
Like, if you burn one, I'll burn one. I think that probably benefits the two of us. Because, like, worst case scenario, then someone just snipes the smuggler, and then we probably have priority on taking advantage of it. Maybe. Actually, loot could maybe get set up, depending on where it goes. This game is hilariously poor. I don't think I've ever seen
It's pretty funny.
everybody this cash strapped. Usually 2 players are this cash strapped, and everyone else is doing fine.
All right, I figured it out. We're gonna put this smuggler here.
Okay.
Oh baby. Oh baby.
Interesting. Yeah, Tom. It feels like we're all in turn 1. What are you doing, Guerric?
I think it might be important to protect these dice by eating police actions, if anybody wants to get anything out of this.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically
Wait, but then why?
I'm basically trying to shift the tempo by forcing you to take police actions in order to protect this potential investment.
Got it.
While also getting the best value we could out of this by making sure the lower die of the 2 gets removed, if it does get removed.
Yeah, it is a clever play because also aligns incentives with Pat, so there's one less defector potentially.
Yep, it's the idea. Try and unite the table in weird ways while shifting tempo. And yeah, I don't know if it works, but it's what I went with.
Yeah. Let's see. So I take a police. I guess if all 3 of us take a police action.
There's only
then
2 of
we're
us.
fairly safe.
I don't know if Lily will
No,
or not, but
No, I
there's
mean,
only me and you before Lily.
I mean you, me, and Guerric. There's 3, and there are 3 of us that stand to benefit just based on like turn order priority.
Yeah, but I just took my action.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's why I think it's important that you eat up Lin's Eshu.
Right.
And then if Pat wants to play along, he eats up one of the other ones. And then at worst, we get a 6.
All right. It's probably worth playing ball for now. Let's just stick it there. Ching Forces are at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. All right.
I will just state as an option.
Are at 8.
We could reopen this.
I thought about that, but
actually,
much of
if
a
I do
liability
that
on next turn.
Doesn't that help me though a bit? Because I have one, but it depends because like they can refill it first, can't they?
Well, it doesn't currently have demand if you kick that guy out. So it's basically
this is gone.
It's basically an investment for the next round to see if.
But like if I do that, I'm not guaranteed to get anything from it. Whereas like you guys are gonna have 2 different ones, so no, screw that. I'm good.
Okay.
It felt like too much of a liability. Like basically, whoever gets turn order next round is probably going to be able to be the one to take advantage of that, and that's too far to try and set up for. I think.
I didn't know if anyone wanted to try the gamble.
Yeah, it's an interesting gamble.
Yep.
I mean, obviously.
Nope. Yep.
No, that's fine actually. I think. Oh shoot! No, maybe it's not. Well, anyway, Luke's up.
You want to pass your turn, Lily?
Oh yeah, thank you.
And now we're in an interesting place. This all worked exactly how I wanted it to.
Yep. No, I see it now. We did dance to your Puppet Master strings.
I mean, even Luke benefits if Luke puts a merchant there.
I was going to say, I basically opened it up for everyone but Lily to benefit.
Badger, is that a rule?
Guerric. Oh, really?
I'm checking. Shit, that is a thing.
What is the thing?
If possible, must be placed in a region with 2 black counters.
I completely forgot about that rule.
Oh, we need to turn things back.
Well, it just kind of deletes the whole.
It screws up the whole round basically.
I have to put Lynn there, which means both of them.
And I wouldn't have knowing that's possible. I wouldn't have done that. Like I was banking. My whole plan was to force Drew to waste Lynn's issue, and the fact that that's impossible means my whole action was invalid.
Okay.
So we can either roll it back a full round, or we can just let it ride.
I'm fine rolling it back.
Yeah, we can roll it back.
To the time machine, indeed. This was
a
4, and we should have a 3.
We had a 6.
It took it from the 3.
Yeah, it was the double 3.
Oh yeah.
And then there should then that should be right there.
That's right. That one was there.
So Guerric still has to do his turn.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all correct.
I mean, what Guerric can do, Guerric can burn Lynn's issue, and then we can just do it in a different order.
Yeah, but then you're right, and I think that's what Guerric has to do. It's now Guerric loses his tempo advantage. So he has to decide.
Does he though?
No, the bigger issue is just that I don't trust Drew as much to play that same script. Before I forced him into it. Now I don't know if he plays along. But I don't know that I have a better choice.
We also lose that 6 roll.
Yeah, Badger, this has been a very interesting conspiracy chit composition. I don't know if you saw the first round, but there was like 6 British influence in the first round, and I think 1 police.
Yeah.
And then this turn was like all police.
And very few black pieces across both these rounds.
Mm-hmm. Very poor.
Every time I start to think that like conspiracy chits are not like a huge influence on the game, they're like, no. They are vital to the game.
Yep.
Outrage is 0. 1, 2. This is down to.
Oh yeah,
4.
we got to reset all the Qing Forces. I was updating the track and didn't update it back down.
Ugh. Okay. Let's try it.
And he's forcing that. Oh, okay.
I'm not convinced Drew plays along, but we'll see.
plays along. Well, no, now I think I just place the smuggler here and give us 2 more free revenue.
You mean
I don't
one
see
more?
any reason not to do that at this point. I don't like leaving this liability open for.
It's not though, because you can play this or something, right? Right now.
Yeah, but like if it gets around to Lily, she's gonna do it, and then she gets 2 revenue.
Not if you place the smuggler in A2.
Why would I be getting 2? Oh,
and I can play that.
But yeah, why am I getting 2 revenue?
Because if you put that down, I'm incentivized to keep it because I get a point. Or not a point, a revenue. Sorry.
And if we can roll well again, we can.
There's 2 police though still.
But I get an action to take it out.
Yeah, so I do this, you take the police, and then there's 1 more police left.
Which was where we were last time.
Right. We end up in the same
I see.
position.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, why wouldn't we just take the guaranteed money, Guerric? I guess I have to roll a 2 again.
You have to roll a 2 again, and alternatively, we could gamble on getting more money from the chain. We rolled a 6 once. We can do it again.
We can do it again. Very interesting.
I agree, B. Leonard. Gambling is good. Nothing bad happened from our gambling empire in Oath. Our multi-game gambling empire.
It sounds like I should go back and watch some of those episodes.
Sure, if you want to see 5 or 4 people just gambling every turn 2 times.
That sounds hilarious. Okay, maybe I'll watch like 20 minutes of it. But that sounds hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Okay, Drew, what you doing?
Yeah, I was trying to math it out and then Guerric distracted me.
Basically, I think in all likelihood we break even or do better if you place it into A2. Sure, F1 is a safe, immediate 1 revenue, but I think it's pretty safe that we get a minimum of 1 from A2.
I guess I see too many variables. I don't know that it's that safe. Like somebody probably, I mean, Lily's highly incentivized to break that somehow. What I'm trying to figure out right now is how is it possible for her to do that? Like I go to A2, Pat burns a police action, and then she has a police action. Which if she doesn't use on A2, which I think might be the play, then Luke is also incentivized to. Well, but then I don't know if Luke has any tools to burn it if the police action's gone.
You're right.
I think
Choco Blue.
Then I think they. Oh yeah, thank you, Shock Blue.
And there should be an extra Ching Force.
I almost wonder if Lily and Luke aren't incentivized to just not do anything and leave the police action hanging, and then we all go complete the chain, or we can't go. We have to like do something else. It sort of ruins the tempo. I don't know. It feels like there's too many variables that can break this nice little cooperative thing we're trying to construct. I'm gonna go for certainty.
You're boring.
I want to grab. I don't know. It doesn't particularly matter. I'll grab the 2.
You're gonna shut down that zone.
Please fucking roll a 1. For the love of God, karma, roll a 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a 1.
Damn it!
Woo! All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Guerric and I get 1 revenue. And then this die goes back as a 3. And then that's it.
Does it even matter?
What's going on here?
Drew placed the smuggler from the conspiracy
smuggler
circle
work.
into this space.
Okay. And
that was after Lynn was placed there to remove us.
But where's the die for it?
The chain is complete.
The chain's
complete.
complete.
Oh, I see it. Never mind.
I wish there was a better way to visually pick out the fact that there shouldn't be dice where there are black pieces in completed chains.
Pat, I don't think you need to bother with that at this point.
Yeah.
I think you're free to do something else.
It's just a free pass.
That's true.
Without passing.
That can be worth doing for sure.
This is the poorest friggin' game. Dang it, Badger with his rules.
Ooh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. I was about to suggest now that Guerric and Pat and I cooperate to all get 1 revenue out of A2. Because Guerric and I can go in for 1, Pat can go in for 0. Basically, that's all. That's break even for all 3 of us.
Yeah, but I don't go up with that.
No, because you gain 1 revenue from this piece.
Not if I go to 0. You just said, Pat, go to 0.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's a moot point now. But you could have placed your other merchant there.
Oh, yes.
0. Yeah.
I was going to, if he didn't do what he just did.
Yeah.
If I could undercut him, I would.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, oh, it's fine. You can undercut. Then I looked. You can't.
No, he took that from me.
Oh,
I did.
I'm really regretting this choice of doing this right now. It's not needed.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like the special envoys, 50% of the time they make the game for you, and the other half of the time you're very mad that they're not a merchant. And it's hard to predict.
All right, I'll go in for 1. Actually, will I?
Just go
Hold
in
on.
For 1.
I'm wondering if I can orchestrate this to happen. No. I take it back. We're going in for the 1. I got ideas. I don't like them.
Wait. Shit, that would remove the die.
That's exactly what the brain process I went through, Drew. I was like, oh, what if I open up the slot? Oh, wait, there goes the demand.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I'll put in 1, and then Pat can kill the smuggler, and then no one else has any hats except for, I guess, Luke. But then someone will put in a 0 cost merchant, and we'll all be happy. But then there will be no demand die in the dungeon.
Yeah, slight problem with the plan. Yeah, Badger, this has just been such a weird game because the chits have come out in a way that hasn't been conducive to making money, and our decisions have not been conducive to making money. And I know this is usually a poor game, but this is a really poor game.
I feel like I've just been making mistakes this whole time, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
That's definitely what I've been. That's why I have done some of the things I've done so far, Badgers. I think at this point it's almost a game of starving everything out and emerging atop the pile of paupers.
You and Pat getting a 3 and a 2 first round is just
right. Yeah, like Pat and I are in the lead.
You're just sitting pretty.
I feel like it behooves both of us to just like make sure nobody makes any money.
Well, Pat wants to make money because
Pat does want to make some money. That's true.
Long term, Drew, you edge him out if we don't make money.
That's fair.
What do you think, Drew?
I think I invest in one more opium for next round.
See, this is where I literally need to do this. Because if I don't, he overpays me and I lose my money anyway.
Yep.
So, goodbye.
Yep. No,
Goodbye.
Exactly right.
You can... This goes here, sorry.
You can put it wherever. It's nice to
But I literally can't let that sit there anymore because he played this here, I get no points no matter what.
Yep.
Or no revenue no matter what. So, goodbye.
All right. I feel like I don't know what to do with my life. So I think I'm going to self-destruct.
Nice.
I so hope you get a 3. I hope so badly.
I don't know if I will, but I am going to self-destruct because it's fun.
I'm rolling my eyes.
Wait, I can't do that yet.
Yeah, you're done investing, Luke. Unless you make some money somehow, but that's not possible at this point.
I go here.
It's true.
Well, yeah, but there's no demand in this region, so.
Oh, we did lose it. Sorry, I realized that we did lose. I realized we did lose demand.
Yeah. Actually, well, that doesn't benefit you at all. But you could. No, never mind. That would also remove that die, and there's no opportunity anyway. This game is hilarious.
Well, I don't need opportunity. I have a special envoy, right?
These are inner sea zones anyway.
Oh yeah.
You're right. You're right. You could undercut
Actually.
this bureaucrat with 0. Actually.
H plus, probably 3-player, if not 2-player. Not short variant. Never play the short variant. Maybe for learning, but other than that, no.
Luke, I think the only thing that would make anyone any money is this chain, but the problem is someone has to go in at 0. And it's not going to be... Like, Guerric has one more investment, so he could buy another ship. But, like, Guerric and I are not going in at 0. Guerric can't, and I won't, because 1 is break-even for us. So I guess, like, in theory, you could undercut this to 0, and we could complete this thing, but I don't know why you would do that.
No, I wouldn't. So I guess I pass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're not wrong, Badger. You're not wrong. Well, maybe 1 player is not the best. I don't know if you're really playing H plus if you're playing 1 player.
Does it have a solo?
It has a solo mode. Yeah.
Huh.
And like the bot resolves all the impact icons in a different way than the players do, so it's basically like the bot plays a different game than you, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. I heard good things about it when H plus first came out, and then I've heard like consistently terrible things about it ever since then. So I don't know why that difference happened, but I need to play more Porfiriana. I've only played it the like Twice? Once?
I'm gonna spend 1 revenue and go in at 2. I don't know.
Wait, spend 1 revenue to go in at 2?
No, I'll just do 1.
He had a base revenue of 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do I go?
Yeah, just you'd bump it back up.
You mean a base revenue? What?
His revenue is 1, so his scion is a value of 1 by default, and then he could bump it up more by spending down.
Okay, then I should have 1 more then, because I did not do that last time. I think. 1 sec. No, I only spent 2 on it, didn't I? Never mind. I'm good. I thought I did 3, but I got 3 points. I lied.
Yeah,
I did 2 for 3.
Yeah,
I did 2 for 3. I thought I did 3, but I didn't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it like that.
Badger, the one problem with learning on Yukata is you don't actually learn how to play Porphyriana. As I've recognized from all the people in Dads on a Map playing exclusively on Yukata for like 6 months, and then they had no clue how to actually play the physical copy. They were like, what does any of this mean?
What's Guerric gonna do?
Yes, I can hear that in your voice, Badger.
I know, me too.
The distinctive yes that he does.
Well, it sounds like the solution is that we do a stream of PAX Porphyriana and then play on Yukata.
I'm not streaming Ion stuff right now. Or SMG, Phil Eklund stuff, you know what I mean.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I think I just invest in a merchant.
Well, I think it behooves me to pass.
Yeah, I think this round is basically scuffed, and the only reason I didn't pass is because I just didn't want to waste that investment.
Yeah, exactly. It's a free investment. So
it's free real estate.
The real question is, yeah, I'm gonna spend 1. I'm starting at 1. I'm gonna go into debt by 1 to get a level 2 scion.
Oh lordy.
I'm last in the next round.
Oh yeah, Luke, did you pick? Obviously, you picked turn order.
Let's see. It's theoretically possible that the prizes for this round are what? 0, -1,
-0,
-1?
-1, -1.
That is theoretically possible.
I doubt with these kinds of scions that people are seeing 0s and -1s, but it's theoretically possible.
I'm curious what Drew saw.
Yeah, Drew's the only one who saw what he saw.
No, I mean, you also only saw what you saw. I saw what Luke saw.
Sorry,
and so did Pat.
I meant in terms, look, from the perspective of prizes, Drew's the only one who's seen the top. And yes, you're correct. I've the only one who's seen the middle.
But sounds like the middle's not good.
I didn't say that.
Well, okay.
I'm intentionally not revealing information while speculating out loud. Partially because I don't want Pat to think that the game is over, because it is theoretically possible that like these are all terrible prizes, and he comes into the third round still in the lead. We've seen that.
Yeah, that has happened.
That's fair.
Everyone has gone into the London season having seen a -1 or a 0 and thinking, well, surely there are some better things.
Yeah.
And so they all spend money to fight for the better things, and then there are no good things.
Yeah. It was so funny. This game is so funny.
I love it so much.
If it weren't for Root, this would probably be my favorite co early game.
Ooh,
I'm not
really?
putting my token in.
Even above John Company 2?
I think I've cooled a little bit on John Company too. I think development has taken it slightly away from where I was enamored by it. Not that I don't still love it; it's still very high for me, but it's not like a hot burning passion like it used to be.
Wait, Guerric, you passing?
I am
definitely
passing. I've got a revenue of 1.
And kick Luke out. Potentially save him.
I'm just not going to go to London season. Okay. Opium War does not happen, so prizes. Here we go.
Yeah, I knew there was a 3 in there.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
That hurts.
Okay.
It has happened.
Dang it.
All right.
B. Leonard. I think you called it early on. I have come away with the fanciest of hats.
All right. So I think Drew's got this because he just passes immediately. I mean, me and Pat have the 2 3s, and we're at negative investments.
Yeah, that might be true.
And there's no way for either of you to score more than 3 points.
Yeah. I think, he's got
just math. Like, he just has to pass and he wins. As long as as long as it's not 2 zeros and a -1. Then it's a 3-way tie.
If you and Pat had slightly more revenue, I think it would be fine.
Or any revenue?
I would love to have revenue, but every time I tried to make revenue, someone said no. Okay, I guess I won't play the game.
I tried.
I got revenue by myself and then just said, screw it, I'm kamikaze.
All right, let's just go ahead and play this out for stream's sake.
Hey, Leonard, I award you 26,000 Guerric bucks. I don't know what those are, but I will find a way.
I don't know what those are, so somebody talk to me.
We're going to invent them just for B. Leonard.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds good.
He called the fancy hat like 2
Where
hours
was
ago.
this before?
Where was this before?
Look at this!
I'm so goddamn
We have never seen so many black pieces in one round.
I appreciate everything that's happening. This game hates us, and I love it. Oh, Pat, I'm so sorry. I forgot to mention to you, on Wednesdays, the games hate us.
Why am I first?
You should.
You're good. You should
pass one more time.
Lily's first.
Thank you.
All right, yeah. Just go ahead and play this out so stream sees why we're calling the game.
Well,
I have a question.
Opportunity.
I've got it.
Oh, hold on. We do need to do rumors, so everyone peek at a prize, starting with Lily.
Middle. All right, I'm good.
Look to the middle. Look to the bottom. I'll look at the top. Okay.
I'll look at the middle.
Me too.
Okay. Lily, you're first up.
Yes, and I have no fucking clue what to do. Can I invest in anything that costs anything? Because I'm pretty sure the answer is no.
Nope.
All right, cool. Investing in a hat's not going to do me no good.
Oh, you have an easy action.
I think it's this.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Sad.
Come on.
I almost put this on there to stop that from happening.
Oh, thank God.
There you go. All right.
So that fulfills. And then I am clearly paying out to this one.
Yep, so you get 2, Luke gets 1.
I will help propel Luke forward, if nothing else.
I'm so sad. I was so close to putting this on there to stop it at a 1 or a 0. Sorry, just to deny it.
Yep.
Fuck. Because I'm the only one that doesn't make any money off of it at all, no matter what.
Yep.
I mean, if you had done that, and with this spread, I still would have probably placed the missionary there. Just so this way I could direct it to this route, bro.
Yeah, I mean...
But I mean, you still would have gotten something from that. Oh, well, no, you wouldn't have because of the
zero. Completing the chain would have... Oh, yeah, if you did a 0.
Not for Pat.
You're right.
No, Pat could have put a 2 there.
I mean, he could. No, he was saying that he regretted not putting it in as a 0. Is what he was saying. So that's why I was just saying, like, putting it in a 0 wouldn't have stopped any of that.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
That's
I figured if I put it as a 2, someone would just block it.
I think
Someone
1
just
is
cover
probably
it.
what you could have put it at, and
Yeah.
maybe not been undercut, but you also still maybe would have. So who knows?
Well, you definitely would have because a 0 smuggler. Came
Right,
out,
a
but
0
if
smuggler
there
came
was
out.
only 1 smugglers, then the bureaucrat would have been undercut. So it was going to happen no matter what.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Really know what to do.
There's
I would say just pass and get as many points as you can. Spend
Yeah.
everything.
I
Kamikaze!
was going to say you now have the opportunity to guarantee the best prize.
Yeah,
The-
I guess
I mean,
that's
you got a
true,
minus
Because you're
one,
going for
so it's-
6.
Yeah, I'll do that. That makes sense.
So you get a 2, you spend 5, which gets you 7, and that's the maximum possible. And because
Yeah.
you're first, you're guaranteed to get
Yeah.
the best prize.
Join me in the Kamikaze Club.
That's the one thing that I don't actually love about this game. In fact, it kind of actively annoys me. It's a little too easy for the 3rd round to just devolve into.
Kamikaze?
right, but that's why
Yeah, like you.
that's
There
why
is no
5
third
player is
round.
good, because in 5 player that can still happen on the 3rd round, and then there's a 4th round.
Well, no, I think that's part of the reason why 4 player is potentially has some merit, is because then you actually get 3 rounds, and then the 4th round is the round where somebody just passes and takes the top slot.
The game can still break by the 3rd round is the issue.
Yeah, it can. And like also, I
I mean,
think
this
it's
game
just
broke on the 1st round.
I mean, it's also just kind of trying to balance everything, and not mix like. If I had actions to take last round that actually were good for me, I wouldn't have had to kamikaze and basically push this position.
Yeah,
Now-
no. I get why you did what you did last round. It's just it feels a little unsatisfying that almost always happens on the final round. Like somebody almost always does it.
Now that I can see kind of where things are, if I would redo something, I'd go back to last round and beat out Lily for that prize that I knew I could have.
Yeah, because I knew that Luke and Pat both knew it was there, and I was just
Yep.
like, when do I pull this trigger?
I didn't have the money for it. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
The money-
I wasn't getting it.
It was, yeah, and that's why I wasn't totally as worried. But like with Luke, I was like, I need to get there before he does a thing.
Yeah.
No, I think you made the right call, Lily. You probably. I don't know if Luke had enough to spend more.
I
than
did.
4. You
I
did.
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a mistake of just understanding the last how it works and getting it like seeing like because I forgot there's only 2 of them, and then forgetting that you get victory points for industry leader, which like puts me then over and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a
I forgot you get points for industry leader.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
yeah.
it might not technically be over.
No, it's
no, it is because Drew has the industry
If-
leader of Opium.
Well.
Oh,
what's
yeah, you're
the
right.
What's the second tiebreaker, Guerric?
Never mind, it is over.
the second
No, it's not,
tiebreaker.
actually. Yeah. So first tiebreaker is number of victory chits.
I think second's
If
turn
everyone
order.
has the same amount of victory points, is it turn order?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
Huh.
There's only 2 negative 2s, right? Yeah, there's only 2 negative 1s.
No. Yeah. There's 2 negative 1s.
3
and-
zeros, 3 1s, 2
3
2s,
zeros,
2 3s.
Yeah, so like, unless you get, you would have needed to get a negative 1, and Luke would have needed to get a 3, which is physically impossible to tie you to.
Well, no, but the problem now is actually kind of interesting all of a sudden, because if I get a -1, then
You have 4 points.
Lily wins. No, I have 3 currently.
Uh huh.
And if I get a -1, then I have 2 points.
Well, you have 5
And you have
currently.
4 points because of your industry leader.
Right, but neither of you are industry leaders.
Yeah.
You're right,
Nope.
the game is over.
Yep.
I
pass.
because I was in a bad position in the beginning, I had to basically split my interest and give that up to Guerric.
Yeah, for some reason I thought one of you two had the industry leader, in which case one of you two would have won if I pull a -1, but it's Luke and Guerric, so I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's not really.
Yeah, so I pass and spend 4 for my Scion, and I think that is the game.
So it's on to me.
Yep.
Mhm.
On to you.
Go, Lily.
Well, I feel like... Damn it, you have 3 opium?
I
Yeah, I
did.
do have 3 opium. Yeah, I wanted to
Oh, he does.
guarantee that I stayed opium leader because I knew I would need it
Dang,
last
that'd
round.
have been funny because I could have
If you could
gotten...
have broken that, then you would have won.
Yeah. Well, in the spirit of the game,
Well,
I will
you
still
could have
buy
won.
opium.
Depends on what's in the pool.
I'm gonna buy opium anyway, just because it feels right.
Yeah.
Oh wait, actually, no. No, I'm gonna buy a ship.
It's fair.
Cool. All right, now back to Pat.
Yep, it's just me and you, Pat.
Yeah. I'm going to video.
3. Dang it! Yeah, I can't open anything.
I'm gonna do this.
It's only you have to spend 3 for it.
Yep.
Because 3 people have passed.
Yeah.
3 people.
Oh, right.
Conspiracy chits are even available at this point.
Yeah, effectively, we can't even use the chits, which I just realized.
Oh well, then this really is over. Okay, well, had I known that, I'm gonna. Oh, that sucks. Can I retake this purchase?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm gonna do this, and you can have that back.
Okay.
Perfect.
Because I thought I could do this. I was like, I can shenanigle a pocketable point, but I forgot I don't have the money to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. But I will also take
never
my.
mind.
I'm gonna just buy opium out of defiance instead of my ship.
That's just a jerk move, effectively. I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna put you in negative points. Okay, that's fun.
I mean, it still stops. Like, yeah, I just wish I could.
Stops
get
what? It doesn't do anything.
You're not wrong.
This game is about jerk moves. You're doing it right.
This game is about jerk moves. It's just natural.
I have a question. If I did this, does that change anything? Because I'm remaking it.
No, because it's already a completed supply chain. You wouldn't score the internal thing, but you would just gain the 1 for being in a completed supply chain. Like, you would gain the revenue of what you placed there, basically.
And remember, you're not spending your special. Your special envoy gets spent, and then you actually place one of your merchants.
Yeah, so this one would go here, and you would place one of these, is how it would work.
Okay. That gives me 1. Can I get here? Because if I could get here, I'm just going to do it, and I'm just to pass the turn, because I get
It's
1.
just you, Pat. Pat, it's just you. Keep going.
Oh,
keep going, Pat.
The only one is
Can
not
I don't think I can find another.
No.
There's no other point.
You can, because you now can undercut Luke. No, you can't score the supply chain. No.
Wait. Had I done that backwards? Had I done this?
No, because you don't score the internal supply chain.
It doesn't score the supply chain.
Yeah, I was ignoring what I just said.
Is there anybody who has a merchant at 2 in a completed chain?
No,
Nobody.
Everything's at 1 because
Everything's at 1
we
or
all
lower.
hate each other except for Drew, who got the opium off at 2.
Yep, and that is probably the only reason.
Uh-huh.
was able to score any
Well,
points.
hold on then. Had I done that by that?
I think we're cycling on a thing that doesn't matter because I think
Yeah,
Drew
no,
just
the
has
game
it.
is-
Like,
The game is officially over. If you had been able to scrape out 1 more, then you could have pulled it off, but you can't. There's no more opportunities for revenue.
Yeah.
This game is so close to still being a game in like 4 different ways, but it's just not.
But none of them are quite viable.
Yeah.
4 p.m. Boo.
I mean, if you want to keep spinning actions, nope. Now Lily's passed, so these cost 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
so I
still
was
get the
looking.
Conspiracy. Oh boy.
What do you mean to the bottom action in turn 2, Badger?
No, Badger. No, I think he's talking about lowering, like, price wars, basically.
Oh, lowering prices.
Yeah, we got to a price war effectively on the from right off the bat, just trying to be safe and being skeptical about doing anything high.
Demand was so low.
The demand was never high enough to.
That
Also
we could never even get to a point where undercutting became an option because we were starting so low.
yeah, we didn't have much at all. Like nothing. This is
100% of these player pieces were placed at these values.
Yes.
yeah.
No one ever undercut or lowered prices, just because
Yep.
the demand was crushed the whole game.
Jacob Porkins, thank you so much for the 3 months so I can afford opium. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sad.
But you can't buy it because there's none.
I got opium.
All right.
I can't spend more than 4, so I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah.
Well, you
Makes
can.
sense.
I'm sad. I don't think I want to anyway. There's probably a -1.
Yeah.
All right. Final prizes.
There's not, of
2-1-0.
course not.
All right, good. I got a point.
A scandal.
Oh, hold on.
You got 2
Hey,
give me
points.
that.
give me that scandal. That scandal is mine.
I tried taking the Oxford degree. It didn't. A scandal came to me. What can I say?
You tried stealing the Oxford degree, and it was a scandal.
You know, you're not wrong, Badger. It is in keeping with the Wednesday rolling.
Yes.
Okay, so final scores are 3 plus industry leaders. So Drew gets another 2, putting him at 5.
Guerric, you joined the 3 club.
I did join the 3 club.
He's at 6.
6. How did 2
Oh
plus
no,
1
it's a 2.
plus
No, I can't
No,
math.
it's a 2.
I
Yep.
thought it was a 3. I'll be
Yep.
honest. That looks like a 3, but I was zoomed out. It looks like a 3.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Totally understandable.
Drew wins with 5, and then
I'm so sad.
3 of us
Then there's
at
3 people at 3.
Oh,
then-
I will literally say I would have won if I didn't buy that stupid.
And then
You know,
literally
stinks is I
everyone
could
would
have
have
been at 3. But
Luke, you could have been at 3 as well.
I could have been at
but
3, but I take it personally. Now we'll destroy Pat in every game from now on.
To be fair,
list.
I did that expecting to be able to buy another one.
Nope, Pat, you can't justify it. You on the list.
I
The
forgot that I
blacklist.
couldn't buy these. I couldn't
On
buy
the
the black
blacklist.
tokens anymore.
Pat's goner. He's a goner now in every game.
Oh man,
oh man,
Good
this
game,
game is
though.
so mean.
this was
It is-
fun.
It is the
Yeah.
meanest game I think I have ever encountered, and I love it.
This is a good game.
You should play. You should play the game that Cole says breaks friendships.
Which one is that?
Intrigue.
Intrigue.
I've never even heard of it. Why have we not streamed it?
It's a Stefan Dora negotiation game from like 1994.
That literally has no mechanics. I love
yeah.
it so fucking much.
It's the
Oh my
lightest.
gosh, that's amazing.
It's the lightest freaking game. It's basically here. I can give you this thing for a bribe, or I can do nothing.
That's it. Yeah. It's just bribing everyone at the table to get so you can get the most money. That's all it is. It's the entire game.
It's very silly.
It's extremely silly. I love it.
That is silly. All right, fair enough.
And of course, there's the estates, which is horribly mean. But very
I mean, yes, but is it as mean as this? I don't know.
It doesn't feel as mean as this, but I feel like it's
Yeah.
actually meaner than this. But this one just feels meaner.
I think this one is like crushingly brutal in ways that are not just player driven. Like it's game and player driven, so it feels like multiple fronts.
I think also this game you can feel crushed in the middle of it because like outcomes can be obvious in some points, but in the estates you don't realize how crushed you are until like the very end.
Yeah, the estates does. It pushes out.
It pushes
The
off the
outcome?
crushing.
It pushes out the outcome of your decisions until the end. Like you can't. Like until the last minute, a row could still be scoring or not scoring, and you could end up with positive or negative points. And it's a great game.
Right.
Mhm.
It's a perfect
Right.
game.
Yeah, that's kind of the sense I get is that like it's much harder to get booted out of the estates early.
Unless you.
Like always that outside chance. Whereas this game,
Unless
like,
you do the
can
one
beat out
thing
of
we
it.
did, which we gave one person all of the money.
Yeah, I overbid.
Oh really?
I overbid by way too much and gave all the money in the economy to one player, and it broke the game.
Yeah, don't give all of the economy to one player. That's not a good choice.
That's amazing.
It was pretty funny.
James enjoyed it.
Joey's the one who had the money, isn't he?
Oh wait, yeah, no, Joey was one. Yeah, you're right. Joey was the one with all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, B Leonard, I feel like everything Cole has ever done was like tailor made for me. It's really weird. I have not encountered a game of his that I did not love.
Are you sure you're not Drew Worley?
I've been telling you guys for years that yes, my name is Drew.
It's just so weird how you sound completely different.
I've never. Well, yeah, okay.
All right. Well, seems like we've moved on to the everyone sits in miserable silence. So maybe it's time to end the stream.
Miserable silence. Wait. No. Hold on.
It was jovial silence. Thank you.
End it
very
before
much.
he gloats. End it before he gloats.
Pat and Luke, what did you guys think of your first play of this crushingly mean game?
It's a good game. I'm excited to play again.
Yeah. It's like one of those hindsight's 2020. I would have made many different choices.
Yeah.
Like not letting you get those 2 British flags if I was going merchants.
Yeah.
So I would have had control of them. There was a lot of choices that I made looking back. I was like, I'm a dumbass, but I didn't know, so I'm technically not.
No, definitely not. This game is so opaque. It's so hard to read the first time you play. Honestly, like y'all did way better than I ever could have the first games.
I just wanted to pull levers and see where the levers pull. What happened when I pulled them? So I was happy to just get that.
Exactly. So you can't be mad at me for taking the merchant. I was just pulling leaders.
No. There was no lever that was there.
Oh wait. You were pulling levers? Sorry, I was pulling leaders. My bad.
I'm headed to bed.
It sounds like you both liked it though. In my experience, people either love or hate this game. So
no, I do like it.
Yeah, my frustration in the middle was more of just a frustration of realization that I'm fucked.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always
more
hard.
than I didn't like the game. It was just like, fuck, I should have played my first turn so differently in my first round.
There was a chance that you weren't fucked, but it obviously didn't play out that way, and it was, I think, more likely to be.
I got fucked. The second round I wasn't fucked, but I was whenever I purchased whatever the envoy, because then I lost leader.
Yeah,
and I had no way of getting it back.
Yeah,
it's I had a chance of not being fucked, but I fucked myself 2 turns in a row.
It's always difficult because this is a game where you very easily can shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said at the start. The game will probably be decided by a single action, and not even necessarily for that player. Just the game will have been decided through this horrible chain of events that occurs from that action.
Yeah, because had I had leaders still, I wouldn't have been worried about being undercut.
Yep.
So this would have went off. I would have had money, which would have let me do more things. There was a lot of, I basically, looking back, shot myself in the foot in that action. And the only reason I did is because I didn't realize that this needed to be open for me to do it, but it had gone, a round and a half. I wasn't going to ask to reround that far. It didn't make sense to. But, I would not have done that knowing I was useless up here. I don't know. There was a lot of things that mistakes were made.
As a fun fact, as I'm entering this game into statistics, our highest score is a 5.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I feel like we may have forgotten to score industry leaders for some of those records.
Wow.
Actually, looking at mine, somebody has a top score of 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, you might have played. It might just not be what I was into, though.
Oh, that's also true. Lily doesn't always play Infamous Traffic.
I don't always play Infamous Traffic, and I don't record games without me for the most part.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay, Lily can add another not first place to my tally.
It was our very first game of an Infamous Traffic, and it was a 3-player game with Guerric and John and I, and yeah.
Okay, actually, that's not true.
That makes sense. That's why 8 is possible.
Yeah.
And also why it's not Lily's stats.
Yeah, I definitely think you get higher scores with less people, but I think at 5, 5 is a great score.
Yep.
Yeah. This game is so good.
I have a top score of 7 at 5 players.
Oh, impressive.
Yeah, I'm thinking we didn't always count leaders in your.
That's definitely a possibility. But anyway.
That. Oh, you were in that game, Lily.
Oh, well, then I am just bad at keeping records.
According to my stats thingy.
Huh.
Well, anyway, whatever.
Well,
and Infamous Traffic, the meanest of mean games.
It is. It definitely stands out from Cole's catalog because it's so unlike his other games.
It is.
Yeah,
it's fair.
I forget where I said this, but I recently called it as if Cole Worley had designed an Amabel Holland style cube railed. It's just it demands competent play. It is very brittle. It is almost maybe not a game, but still barely is, and it's just utterly brilliant. and it's yeah. It's good times.
I'm gonna have to jump off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta let people go. Have a good. Thanks for playing, everyone. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back with more Co-Whirly next week. It should be the conclusion of that John Company game that we started and didn't get to finish
And I'm
last
gonna
week.
win.
And you're gonna win.
At least I'm not there for him to get mad at me.
But yeah, we should be finishing that up. We were going to tonight, but we thought this was a cool opportunity to teach this. So we'll finish it next week. Until then, have a great night. Have a great week. We'll catch you next time.